got big.
Wow, no, stop. We're on.
You know, you did that on purpose.
No,
just because you
no,
thought
I
I was
didn't.
you thought I was
I
going to say
thought you were
something.
done with
You thought I was
that.
going to say something. You did it on purpose.
I thought you were done with that, and then you went
on
back,
purpose.
and I don't know how I feel now.
Did it on purpose.
All right, guys, I'm sorry. It's Monday morning, so I'm in work mode.
Hashtag it's Monday.
Button down David.
Aw.
Sorry.
I'm in work
Tucked in
mode
shirts
too.
and stuff.
I got my
Yeah, we do different things.
Firefly thing, but anyway. Okay.
All right, so let's get into this. This is the build-up for the March 18th review episode. And we had some cool stuff this week. So for those of you out there in YouTube land, sorry, the special part of this isn't going to be all that special because it's Monday and it's a little bit more pressing day and I don't have as much lax time as I do on Sundays.
Sure. Sure. I would love to.
No, I just wanted to see if I could make you do that.
I think you'd think your Krispy Kreme might be it. Sorry, more Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme, not
No,
Corona.
No, that's a good one. Krispy Kreme, not Corona. That's a good hashtag.
I like comics, not Corona.
But comics, not Corona is good too. So we can
Probably
start
an
a
insensitive.
We can start a trend.
No, we're not capable of starting a trend. One of the most relieving things in the world was the day when I realized that I'm not cool and I'm never going to be cool, and I quit trying to be cool. I'm just me, and I'm good with that.
Just you. Just pretending to be something you're not. It's okay.
So, speaking of things, I'm going to break all your brains, all of you out there who love to read, because we were talking about this just before we recorded the episode. It's wonderful. If you want to ruin whatever novel you're reading, read your voices in the book and let them be characters from King of the Hill. I'm reading the Sword of Truth series, making Richard Hank Hill and Kaylin Peggy Hill just absolutely will destroy you. That's like this wonderful, serious fantasy. And then, like Wizard's first rule, people are stupid. I tell you what.
Wizard maybe Boomhauer?
Oh my God, Zed as Boomhauer is so good. But yeah, so I'm laying there in bed reading.
Mess with your own mind. Why you do that?
Why would you not do that?
Sure.
I think Batman's new voice may be Dale Gribble.
So what you could do...
But the Joker is always Mark Hamill.
What you could do is you could take some voicemail and turn it into, on YouTube, you turn it into Cookie Monster.
What was that thing you did last week?
Oh, Friends!
It's better the second time.
Let's talk about comic books today.
It's
a review episode.
He hasn't had enough donuts to really get into it. But thank you.
You're very welcome.
We all need
I
that.
appreciate that.
Hashtag friends.
Hashtag woo.
I don't know why we're talking in hashtags. Neither of us Twitter. I mean, I Twitter, but
you Twitter? You've Twittered a lot.
No, don't say what you were about to say. We're not going to say I Twittered Becky Cloonan. That sounds wrong, and I love
You've
her.
Twittered a lot of people.
I have Twittered a lot.
You've Twittered a lot of people. Let's be real honest.
You've been trying to Twitter Donnie Cates.
I have. Okay. We're gonna harass Donnie Cates with "Isn't Monday Yet," right?
Until he agrees to an interview.
And then hashtag Secret Crisis.
Hashtag Secret Crisis
Hashtag
forever.
Secret Crisis.
Him and Tom King and Scott Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They are my.
And Tom Taylor too. So, because deceased.
No, he'll just turn them into zombies.
Oh, we've already done that.
In both universes, so shh.
Oh. Sorry. Okay, so let's talk about comic books.
All right.
Are you recording live?
Not yet. I was actually going to wait for you to do it legitimate.
Okay.
Stop telling me what to do. Hi, guys, and welcome to the Printed Panel Podcast. This is the review episode for March the 18th. I'm David.
I'm Garen.
And we're doing the whole YouTube thing. Please go over and check us out on our YouTube channel. What?
I've had way too much Krispy Kreme this
What are you
morning.
doing?
Oh, wait,
put
sorry.
it down.
Okay,
Put it down.
sorry.
Stop it. Smack your hand. Jesus. So you want to start us out on our review? Because I don't have any Aftershock books this week.
All right,
I didn't pick up Artemis. Maybe I should have.
It was not bad. Essentially, it is exactly what it sounds like, Artemis and the Assassin.
And the Assassin, singular.
Yeah, the Assassin. So, Artemis... How do I describe this? Essentially, the assassin is this woman who basically is kind of an indentured servant. She's being kind of forced to do this because, well, that's what people do. She's a young apprentice. She's like, I want my first job. Well, she gets her first job, and it's to go kill herself. It's pretty cool.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Interesting book. I liked it. So Aftershock's done a good job. Remember to support your local comic book store and go buy Aftershock books because Joe Pruitt from Aftershock has done some really good things with Aftershock, and they're helping support local comic book stores, especially going through the crisis. So this is a good thing.
Yeah.
The other one from Aftershock is Undone by Blood or Shadow of a Wanted Man Volume 2. Now, the cool thing about this book is this young lady, her family was killed July 4th, 1976, I believe.
Are you sure it's 1976?
Well, this is not a modern book. It's set a little bit in the past.
Yeah, so maybe 1876.
No, 1976. Anyway,
I don't know. He looks like 1876.
But there's two stories going on. One, essentially, there's the pulp book that's going on at the same time she's going. And there's similarities between both books.
She's wearing a slave collar.
Well, it's anyway.
With a shaved head.
This is interesting. It's been good so far. If you like westerns, it's cool. If you like kind of murder mystery, it's also good too. So, anyway, because she's going back. She basically is going back as she's an adult. She's going back to go find out who murdered her family.
So these books were a surprise.
Yeah, we weren't aware they were. Oh, I mean, I knew that some people were getting them. We should know when. And this week we brought
You didn't
in.
tell me.
Well, but we talked about this with this. We were going to have an interview with one of the owners of this company, and it never quite happened because of time zone issues, and because he was actually going on a tour for those books. But AWA, Upshot. AWA is the company. Upshot is the imprint, and essentially these books are. That's a whole new company, a whole new paradigm of how to sell comic books.
Great art, great stories, no garbage.
No garbage. They're not selling through Diamond. This is actually going through their website.
Not selling through Diamond's a big deal. Everybody goes through Diamond Comics.
It's tough. It's tough to do. It's tough to reach out to enough comic book stores to make them understand. But I think they're offering good enough prices for everybody so you can still get a good deal. So our local LCS, Nirvana Comics, we actually are carrying these. I don't know anyone else in town who is. That's not necessarily
It's a way to corner the market.
It's just we look at these books and there's 4 of them in the stack, and we're kind of looking at this as a new beginning, an image style beginning, or something from Dark Horse or something like that. This one, of course, is Archangel 8. The preface of this is
okay. Let's just call it the way they define it after the book. Warren Ellis is the Punisher, but an angel.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
And it is. Up until the last page, there is no trace of the supernatural in the book.
Nope.
It is a stereotypical tortured assassin who's
the assassin
killing folks for a living.
The assassin was assigned his job by Gabriel.
Yeah.
Wonder who Gabriel could be.
Yeah. And see, I didn't pick up on any of the biblical anything until there was a naked butt with angel wings, which was kind of interesting.
Yes, interesting. So, the Hotel.
I think this is going to be an American Horror Story type series,
very much so.
Where each chapter takes place in the hotel, but it's going to
Room
be different
102,
stories.
Room 106. What happens here? What happens there? Yeah. So
and this may have been one of the creepiest damn things I've ever read. Pregnant woman ends up there, and she's having dreams where she's connecting with her baby as she's running from an abusive husband/father. Baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
Didn't want to make it sound like her father because it's not an incest book. Because I go with those. As they connect and do the thing, this baby that's speaking to her isn't her baby. It's a little demon that's breastfeeding and drinking her blood from her nipple, and it's like, whoa, okay, really. Like if you like horror,
it's a good book. Red Border. So this is interesting. This is talking about the people who do the right thing, who report crimes. Well, this is set in Mexico.
I was going to say, I don't know that that's what the book's about, but okay.
Well, that's what she does. This woman, she reports a crime. She goes to the authorities. Well, of course, the authorities are crooked. They tell the local gang what's going on, and they're chased essentially across the border, essentially into the arms of someone much worse than they are.
Oh yeah, the blonde guy that saved them.
He's a
bad dude.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. So good book too.
Yeah.
Little horror story.
But human horror story.
Yeah.
It's not. So the first 2 had supernatural connotations. I don't feel like Red Border does.
No. Creepy book. So Resistance. Essentially, this was written several months ago. I
really like this cover.
It was written several months ago, and it's about a pandemic.
I know. I was reading it going,
oh man. Hits a little too close to home. Just saying.
Interesting release date.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a lot of things. I'm sorry. You can have your comics back. I do want that cover. There are a lot of things in fiction that have predicted continued outbreaks of diseases and viruses and all sorts of stuff that basically just. Undiscovered Country very much talks about that. And so this was Straczynski did a thing with this, and I really enjoyed it.
And that's the other thing too. When you look at this, it's Mike Diodato Jr. and it's John Straczynski. It's J. Michael
Yeah.
Straczynski, who wrote Babylon 5, who wrote the saddest Spider-Man story of all time, which we're never going to forgive him for, but we still love him because he's a great writer.
Well, you have to admit, it stuck with you.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yes, it did.
All right, man.
One more day.
Do your thing.
Red Mother #4 from Boom Comics, another great comic book company that's doing fantastic things for the local comic book companies. Please, if you don't read Boom Comics, I mean, they do Angel, they do Buffy, they do all the Power Rangers books. I mean, this is a good company. They do a lot of good stuff. So, Red Mother #4, continuing her story, she basically meets with the guy, this puzzle maker, and he offers her a job. And of course, the whole time she's seeing this thing going on, and now other people are following her. Other people who also are devotees of the Red Mother. They're trying to get her to switch and to come over to their side. It's very, very creepy. This is a horror story that's a slow burn horror story. So very good. Oh, one more. Something is Killing the Children.
One more, hell,
6.
dude! You've got like 4 issues before I'm with you again.
But this is.
I'm not
one more from
complaining.
Boom, so. That look like
By the way,
Miley Cyrus.
spoiler alert, he only has one more book than I do this week, but he's going to be talking a whole lot more because a whole bunch of mine are cheating. Go ahead.
I like Miley Cyrus too.
No, just cute little nose, though.
Anyway, I thought it looked like Miley Cyrus. Anyway, essentially, the den of these creatures has been uncovered, but the babies have gotten away. They've killed the mother, but they just haven't killed the babies. And now what's happened is she's gone to go find this one survivor child, and the kid is drawing pictures, and of course no one believes this kid as to what's going on. They think she just somehow survived, everybody else was dead. And now we find out that she is actually kind of gone rogue. She's not supposed to be there at all. That the parent company is like, listen, you need to rein her in. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll get her. We'll kill her. I think it's not going to be anywhere as easy as they think it's going to be. She's pretty amazing. So reminds me a little bit about Lucy Clare going on right now too. So I enjoyed that too.
This came out before Lucy Clare,
so
Lucy Clare would remind you of this.
Well, anyway, I have Bang 1, Bang 2. I'm only cheating a little bit with Bang 1 because unfortunately we didn't get this. Originally this was a second printing. So imagine a James Bond story where everything's written down for you. It's all planned out. You're James Bond, okay? But you somehow get killed. But then you're resurrected again as James Bond, but a whole different person and a different racial identity. So what's going on is there's a company that is...
They come back as a black man?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So there's this company called Golden Maze, which is an evil corporation that's trying to be stopped.
Are they evil?
Evil. So yes. And what's happening essentially is that the people who are going to help and stop Golden Maze all have the same script, all the same plot, all exactly have the same information no matter where they are. But that's not possible. But it is possible because all the books have been written already, and essentially they're following these books to the letter. It says 1 and even 2. So it's a pretty good book because Matt Kent, he's creepy but really good. So, yeah, gotta say I'm happy with it. And of course now, you finished?
Go ahead.
Just the time when we're finally caught up to the same book.
I was bored.
Justin Giampoli, Starship Down, #1. Phenomenal book. We've already done the review of this technically. We've already done the interview with him. But Justin Giampoli, great writer, fantastic book. Imagine what would happen if you suddenly find that
A spaceship with Neanderthals in it.
Yeah,
frozen in
everything you
in
thought
Siberia.
you knew is completely wrong because it's a spaceship that's 1 million years old, buried in the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with Neanderthals in it, that was a weird part. But #2 should be out fairly soon.
I mean, I think it'd be hilarious if we found out Neanderthals had great technology and we kind of screwed it up. Yeah.
If you haven't read Justin Giampoli's Rome West, you're missing a hell of a good book. I have one more from Dark Horse that you don't have. I have X-Ray Robot #1. I am not a huge fan. What are you doing? Oh,
Fixing your alphabetization.
I'm not a huge fan of Mike Allred. In fact, I kind of can't stand him in some ways. I apologize, Mike. I don't think your Ecstatic was nearly as good as you thought it was. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's awful. I apologize. It wasn't meant to be that way.
This is going to be that mark, kind of like when I went off about Tom King. Wow. Didn't expect that from you, Gary.
But I will say, this is actually pretty good. So we figured out a way to go into space-time. Basically, that we can actually transport robots into an alternate reality. So this guy, Rex, smart, really genius guy, he puts his mind into the robot to go transport. When he does it the first time, he kind of goes a little bit crazy, but it all comes back to him pretty quickly. He sees multiple realities very quickly, and his mind can't process it. He tries to do it again, and he actually switches his mind with the robot, and the robot comes back from this jump, and it's a robot from a different reality that's come back to our reality. So, kind of interested to see where this goes. Even though I'm not a huge fan of his, I like the book. So, it was intriguing. So I thought I'll try it. It's good. I liked it. I can dance to it. I'll give it a 5, Dick.
What is a 5, Dick?
No. Do you remember American Bandstand?
No, I don't remember
Dick,
American Bandstand.
I can dance to it. It's got a good beat. I'll give it a 5.
Born in 1980. I do not remember American Bandstand.
Anyway.
Batman 91.
Yes.
This
Joker.
This is Joker.
It's Joker.
Telling and they called it his origins. I was reading some Facebook article because Facebook, knows everything I like and, stalks me. And they're like, oh, this is Joker telling his own origin. No, it's not.
Yep, not even
this is the Joker telling his perspective of what happened in the designer meet was.
This percentage is probably true.
Do you think the designer's alive?
Oh, the designer's definitely alive.
So the guy he shot in the back of the head.
I don't think that was a designer. I think that was an agent. I think the designer knew Joker was going to pull some crap like this and just sort of said, hey, what can we do to hurt the Joker?
Yeah. So yeah, amazing read. Joker War kicks off with 92?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Nightwing 71 was out this week.
Yeah.
70 or 71? 71.
I don't know.
Anyway, Nightwing was out this week, and that...
It was the prelude.
It's the prelude to Joker War.
Yes.
So,
okay, I'm gonna cheat really quick and get just these off my list. I read Flash 84 through 751. Yes, kids, it went 88 and then 750.
Legacy, baby, legacy numbering.
I'm gonna say that.
Give us an overview.
If you haven't, no, I'm gonna go deep into it, but. Because I'm going to pick up at 7:52 next week, or this week, Wednesday.
Yep.
And that'll be a better opportunity to kind of talk about what's happened. But if you haven't been keeping up with The Flash, I think you're missing maybe a major piece of the DC Universe. Because what's going to happen with Wally and having Manhattan's abilities plus the Morbius chair. Is it Mobius or Morbius?
It's Mobius.
Mobius, thank you.
Yeah.
Mobius chair. I think, and the Speed Force being a problem and
Not proud of Wally.
I think.
Now remember, Wally
is
the fastest man alive. Barry used to be Barry. No, when Barry was killed, Wally took over. And Wally is the fastest man alive. Period. There's nothing that can match him. Nothing that can match him. Yeah, he murdered a few people. Yeah,
shucks, he just murdered a few people.
Technically, now he can go back and fix it because now he has Dr. Manhattan's power. Please bring Roy Harper back. I'm just saying, please bring Roy Harper back. I care less about the fish kid or whatever. Roy Harper, that's what I care about. So, gotta be some Speedy. Some Red Arsenal.
And if you also kill Booster Gold in the process, I'm fine with that.
I'm good with that too.
Spin on, sir.
I like Booster Gold. Come on. He's a doofus, but you like Booster Gold. Come on.
I was just trying to get some hate in the comments, man.
Don't hate the comments. Okay. So, Batman's Grave number 6, Warren Ellis. Fantastic book. This is literally coming along better. So in issue 5, they're trapped in Arkham Asylum with all the inmates, and of course, Bats is like, and he's trapped there with Gordon, which he basically, this is a young Bruce Wayne. It's a young Batman. Gordon, they don't have like a relationship they should have yet. So he essentially, basically has to prove to Gordon that he's good enough. So what he does is he helps Gordon escape this Arkham Asylum. And he, of course, as they're talking, he's like, you know these corridors? He's like, yeah, I can walk these corridors blind. Why? So, well, they keep trying to put me in here. And he says, no, listen, you're going to try to do it at some point, too. I figure if I'm going to get out, that's how I'm going to do it. So, it's kind of brilliant. It's definitely that 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps ahead thing. One of the major villains escapes. The guy we see at the very beginning of the book who likes to eat people's hearts and livers and that kind of thing. So, kind of creepy, but good. So, excellent book. There's only 12 issues, too. Or maybe 13. No, 12 issues, sorry.
Spin on.
So, yeah. Deceased Unkillables, number 2.
Oh, wait. I've got one after yours. Go ahead.
You do. So, Deceased Unkillables, number 2. Of course, the Full Metal Jacket horror cover. Fantastic. You find out Wonder Woman has been bitten, of course. So she's now, or she has the anti-life equation. So she goes and takes down the lair with the evil guys. The evil guys wind up joining forces with the good guys to basically save the rest of the human race. These 43 kids that they kind of team up with, and they show their true colors, where they really aren't bad people. They really just want to do bad things. So then they save these kids, train them on how to be assassins, how to kill, and of course, the more killing ensues at the end. But there's only 3 of these total, so they should be
about done.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom Taylor, really
talented. Tom Taylor,
very talented. I kind of want to see what he's going to do next, because this season 2 comes out in May. This is
good God, I'm over it already.
Yeah. But this isn't like Marvel Zombies, which kept going on for no reason. This really has been well
There
done.
is more of a narrative, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Justice League.
And I apologize, everybody. Normally, it's something I would have read. I missed this copy for whatever reason.
Number 43.
Yeah.
Don't apologize. They beat Eradicator. Ta-da! That's it. That. It's basically a recap issue of the end of the last issue, and I'm like, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe Hill, The Plunge, number 2, Black Label Comics. This is the Hill House Comics. Love Joe Hill. Great storyline. This is typical horror that would literally 25 years ago you could have seen his dad writing. Very well done, very smart. Essentially, they're going to rescue this ship, or actually go dredge the ship out of the ocean because they're a salvage crew, and they find that this dead body, it looks like it's just been killed like the day before, even though it's been there for years. And you find out it's kind of a zombie, kind of a plant there for something else. Could be aliens, could be vampires, we're not sure yet. So we'll find out though. So good book. And of course, DC we have
Robin 80th anniversary one-shot, super spectacular.
So, coming soon we have April 15th, I believe we have the Catwoman, and then Joker's either before or after that. I can't remember which one.
At $10 a pop, kids.
Well, but this is a good recap. This does tells you a lot about Dick Grayson.
You know what pissed me off? There was absolutely no Carrie Kelly in it.
I know, that's...
You thought you're like,
literally took it right out of my mouth.
You're like, Dick Grayson, cool. All right.
There's
We got Jason. Jason comes next.
Right.
There's Tim.
Yeah.
There's the Prince of Darkness, Damian Wayne, and Tim literally called him the Prince of Darkness, and I fell out. I was like, that's perfect.
And there's Stephanie Brown.
And they did Stephanie in there. Actually, I guess Stephanie was before Damian. And then you're like, okay, so future Carrie Kelly, we're gonna get a pay. There's none.
Because technically, she's not in the main DC universe.
Correct.
She is only in Frank Miller's universe.
But she is acknowledged as a question mark.
Exactly. I do like my favorite part of this was Damian.
My favorite part of this was Jason Todd.
I love Jason, but Damian was perfect because it's talking about Damian, his humanity, and his relationship with John.
I would read Warren Ellis writing Red Hood.
Oh God, yes.
Guys, I just suggested something delicious to Garen. If you're not watching on YouTube, it's worth going to get his face there.
Hashtag Warren Ellis writes
Red Hood. Yeah. Oh my God, that would be
creepy and awesome.
Yeah.
This was good. In fact, if this is a $10 you wanted to spend, this was a good read. If you are not familiar with all the Robins, because we still have a lot of people who they don't know anything about Jason Todd.
They go, how many Robins?
Exactly. They don't know anything about Tim Drake. All they know is Damian because they've been reading for the past couple of years.
And
nothing wrong with that. Damian's awesome.
Robin is one of those characters that actually ages.
Yes.
Now, and the interesting thing is this gave you the years they were active, and Dick Grayson was a kid for a long time, like from 48 to like 93 or some crazy thing.
You're like,
or 83.
How did that?
Yeah, like 45 years of
Lazarus
him being
Pit.
a teenager in green shorts.
Did they all get the Lazarus Pit?
No.
I do like the fact they showed basically when he finally splits from Bruce. He's like, I can't wear the green shorts anymore. And of course, Batman's like, good kid.
But Jason Todd with that watch, man, like that was the most heart-wrenching story in there. Like.
Did bring a tear.
I'm gonna fix this for Bruce and say thank you. And then as Red Hood leaving the watch finally finished on his car and saying,
as the car's on fire.
The car wasn't on fire.
It looked like the car was on fire.
The car was glowing from its awesome headlights. That's all that was going on.
It looked like it was
Open
on
the
fire.
page.
Looked like it was on fire. No, you're not gonna prove me wrong.
It was just a smoky Gotham night. It was not on fire. I swear, what do you read, man?
And the thing is, one thing I'd like to was they finally explained a little bit about Stephanie Brown too. Her outfit. He basically gives her Robin's costume, and it's not meant for a girl; it's meant for boys.
And yet that got very uncomfortable and very quickly. I'm like,
she's like, I have a wedgie. I mean, like,
Yeah.
It was funny. It was clever. It was meant to be.
I'd like to have that run. I'd like to have the Stephanie Brown Robin
all
run.
4 issues of her.
Yeah.
Seriously, she's like 4 or 5 issues.
That's okay. I still like to
and
have
then
it.
she was killed, but faked her own death.
Yeah.
But I do like. Spoiler, she's a great character, and she's in the Young Justice stuff now, too.
Is she really?
And by the way, Tim is not Tim Drake. He's
just
Tim Drake.
Drake.
He's just Drake now. He's not Robin anymore. No Red Robin anymore. He's just Drake.
Okay, if Steve Harvey tomorrow said he was Harvey, I would suddenly judge him. And I want to say trying to become a mononym is not something just anybody can pull off.
But a Drake is
like,
a bird.
I understand what a Drake is. I get it. But
It makes sense.
no, it's stupid.
It's brown now
It's
instead of red.
stupid.
Okay,
It's
anyway.
really stupid.
But he wants to set himself apart.
It's stupid.
Okay. Last from DC.
Red Robin. Yum.
So we have Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, number 4. Fantastic book. Pretty much exactly what David and I predicted that she would.
Perpetua said, "Oh, the Batman who laughs." Exactly what I've been looking for. This is a direct lead into Dark Knights.
Oh yeah, Dark Knights
Death Metal.
Death Metal, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Scott Snyder has been tweeting a lot of images of Death Metal. Like, son of a, stop it! Like Swamp Thing on fire, like a corpse on fire. You're like, this isn't right.
Hey man, if it gets us
But I'm
away from
excited.
5G, I'm happy. All right, so moving into Image.
Undiscovered Country, number 5. Could you get weirder? I'm just saying, Scott and Charles, you guys, you've got the weirdest book I've ever. Well, no, okay, that's not Grant Morrison weird, to be fair, because his Green Lantern has been weird. But
We need to get back with Dale after this quarantine stuff is over with. And
this
do
is an odd
a
book.
deep dive again.
And I know you're not the biggest fan of this book. You weren't from the very beginning, but you've read it because.
I read issue 1. I went, nope. Oh,
And then-
damn it, give me issue 2.
And then we've been convinced. But honestly, this was a good book. So
I've been peer pressured, is what it is.
you find out that the main kid. Oh, I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Yeah, see, that's my problem.
Well, there's too many names of people in here. Honestly, to
There's
keep
too
up
many
with.
characters.
So essentially,
It has like 17 main characters.
so essentially, he'd been in contact with his dad.
Yeah.
With his dad, who shouldn't and now he found the spike. They give it to Sam. Sam's like, hey, listen,
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam has a spike, and now they found the train to take them to the middle of this circle thing. Anyway, this has really been a clever book. And it's good. I really want to see with the rest. And I know you're have that skeptical look on your face, but you're gonna read issue 6 because I know you're gonna. Now you're like, oh man, I'm hooked.
It's I can't say this Ness. I'm trying to find a PG-13 way to say this. It's a little bit like grudge effing reading this book for me.
Sure, if you wanna.
Yeah, go ahead, Captain America.
Captain America number 20, start of a new arc. Ta-Nehisi Coates might be losing me here. Just to
Oh no!
This is not a Captain America feel to me. It's like a heist that they're doing. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, now here's the thing: they're dealing with Selene, which is kind of cool. I mean, because Selene she's got the power of vampire thing, and I don't know.
Isn't she a mutant?
Yeah, but is she a mutant? I always thought it was based on her. Anyway, it's okay. This was all right. I've really enjoyed the series.
Selene's one of the ancients, though. She like
The Eternals.
yeah, but okay. So there are Eternals. But there are also ancient characters in the Apocalypse is one of them. Selene is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Gideon's one of them.
Yeah. So now they're
But Apocalypse is not an Eternal.
no Apocalypse.
So
is
I call
Apocalypse.
it the ancients.
Anyway,
Technically
so
speaking, Odin
we'll see what
is an ancient, but he's not an Eternal.
we'll see what happens here. All
Thor is an ancient, but not an Eternal.
right, next we have Excalibur. Oh no, wait, you have one more.
Don't you
have one more.
Don't you stop me when I'm talking
You have
about
one
things
more.
that are important. Conan, number 14, Jim Zub, you are the man. I did not think anybody could follow up behind Jason Aaron's run and really keep the move. In the end of issue 13, you see Conan stabbed through the chest with a shadowy blade. Oh my god, he's dead.
Oh my god.
He was stabbed with a shadow blade, and it makes him flashback through his life, and he manages to overcome his attacker, and they continue through this quest for Kitai kind of thing. They've stumbled into this awful dark gods thing. It's amazing. It's it is probably the best swords and sorcery book on the shelves. Yeah, I got it. Fine, go. I sat through like 14 of your crap books, and you want to run me through Conan, you dick.
That's just wrong. Crap.
X-ray robot, X-ray robot. Even as
Okay,
you're talking
it
about it, you're like, it's stupid.
I mean, it wasn't.
I'm talking about Conan the freaking Barbarian. You're trying to like rush me.
Fine.
I mean, you're not going to talk
Conan's
enough.
awesome.
You're not
Fine.
going to talk enough in this one.
Fine. Conan's awesome.
Excalibur, number 9.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Star Citadel.
yeah, the Star Citadel,
Yeah.
the White Lady of Otherworld,
Yep.
who normally works closely with Captain Britain, has like sealed herself off.
Yeah.
They shot Shogo in this one. Teeny, I wasn't ready.
So what's interesting is if you're an early, really person who enjoyed the original Excalibur run, you would have seen the Citadel, and there was several where literally Captain Britain goes to meet the Britain Corps, and there's millions of other Britons because there's millions of realities out there. So this is now they're going to go take back that reality.
And apparently they're going to fight Britain Gambit, Britain Richter, Britain Jubilee, Britain.
I do love Jubilee though, man. When she shoot Shogo, man, she whipped it out. I mean, hard. I mean, she didn't kill anybody, but I mean, that was her power is.
I'm
grown.
not sure those words mean what you think.
I think
they
her
mean.
power has it not grown exponentially? Am I not wrong?
She basically creates daggers of light and sound, and then just bang them down into killing a bunch of.
My stack was gonna slide. I had to fix it.
Fantastic Four number 20.
Okay, so
I loved this book.
there are.
This almost made my top 4. I really genuinely considered giving Fantastic Four 20 the 4th spot, but it would have bumped Starship down, and I couldn't bump Starship down. Sky. So the whole premise here. This is basically a soap opera, okay?
Yeah.
This is a soap opera, and Fantastic Four has always kind of been that family drama.
Oh, yeah.
They all come back from space.
Sky comes back.
Sky comes with them,
Because
which
they're
we knew.
soulmates.
And Johnny and Sky are soulmates.
Yeah.
And
But why Wingfoot says how many soulmates have you had?
and Wingfoot asks Wyatt Wingfoot asks Johnny to bring the Fantastic Four and come help them because
there's like 65 messages waiting for him. He's been gone
Mole
for
Man
a year. Yeah.
Mole Man is going to attack the reservation.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm coming for you." You know, we
Sure,
saw that
coming.
in the last issue. And Sue's like, "Oh, I'm going to fix this soulmate thing."
So he sends Sky with.
Sky and Johnny go to the reservation, and the best thing in the world
Wait.
ensues.
Little preface though. As Sky is on Earth, she's on the top of the Baxter building, and she's talking to pigeons. And he's like, "Why are you talking to them?" She's like, "I don't know. They came to want to talk to me."
They're nice, yeah.
And he's like, "Well, they're just rats in the sky. I mean, they're just sky rats is all they are." She's like, "But they're so nice." And he said, "Okay." He gets in the ship and is like, "All right, let's just go."
She speaks bird.
Well,
Which then comes into play because Mole Man, in the most epic Mole Man entrance of all time.
By the way, the reason Mole Man is attacking is because some of his Moloids, who have been around for longer than the American Indians have been around.
They've been under that area for 65 million years. Is
Right.
what
So
they're
it's
saying.
like, so basically they're like, hey, they come to up and they're like, hey, listen, we just want to have what you have. So the Moloids join this tribe, which rightfully so, because they're the ancients basically.
Hey, you shamed me for it and then you used it.
So they're the ancients essentially. Well, now of course Mole Man's like, hey, you can't just leave. Okay, well, yes, they can. So
He shows up on 2 T-Rexes, which is amazing.
So the
Mole Man rides up out of the ground on a T-Rex.
So of course they can't hurt the T-Rexes. They're trying. They can't hit them even with their little arms. So my favorite part is Sky goes. She realizes that they're.
She goes like Marac, and then all of a sudden she's talking to the T-Rex.
They turn around. They realize that she can speak to them. They speak back to her, and essentially they stop what they're doing and they tell Mole Man to
Because Mole Man on his own basically has no
No.
anything. He's just a fat guy that lives underground.
yeah. So the T-Rexes are like, she's really nice. I like her.
Yeah. And they make an agreement. They make an agreement that Mole Man will go back underground and leave the Moloids alone under the condition that, including the T-Rexes, nobody will ever tell about moments so easily defeated.
Yeah.
And then Johnny and Skye come back
Well, and Skye has something
thicker than thieves.
Well, yeah, but Skye also kind of does something surprising. She doesn't want to live with Johnny.
And Alicia gives her
Alicia
apartment.
gives her old apartment because she's not using it. She's with Ben all the time. But why wouldn't soulmate want to live with her soulmate?
Well, I think that Johnny is more infatuated with her, and she's less infatuated
And she's
with
less. She's
him.
like, now she sees like all the other soulmates he's had. She's like, huh. Player gonna play.
Johnny
Gotcha.
Ho.
Yeah, Johnny Ho. Jane Foster, Valkyrie.
This book was about Tyr.
Number 9. Yeah, this was
a book about Tyr, and they got a little bit deeper into actual Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Tyr.
They actually dig really deep into Norse mythology.
Yeah, Tyr missing his hand, bitten off by Fenris, ends up being punished by Thor and sent to serve.
Was it Odin or Thor that punished him?
Thor.
Thor punished him?
Specifically says in this book,
Okay.
Thor goes to teach him a lesson in humility, which I'm like,
So he has to serve everyone as a.
And instead of serving, he goes and gathers information in Valhalla. Because what's the great tradition in Valhalla, even in real Norse mythology? Drinking and telling stories.
Yeah.
And so they basically are sitting around telling old war stories. He figures his way out of Valhalla.
Yeah, he actually
through secret doors.
He figures out the secret doors.
You find out he's the one that unleashed the Ode, and now he has opened the doors for the Ravarik? Anyway, I don't know. I probably pronounced that wrong. Please go look it up. It's one of those words like Mjolnir that becomes easier to say when I've heard other people say it 300
what he
times.
essentially does is he steals Jane's past. He steals.
Oh yeah,
Valkyrie's
it turns
power.
the all weapon into the one thing needed.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. So this was a
Sorry.
great story. This is continuing to be really good. I love Jason Aaron. Please don't stop what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, you're not doing Thor anymore, but you can do this Thor, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Jane Foster, down.
And guys, typically we do not record on Monday, so I do apologize so much for my alarms going off.
How many alarms do you have?
A bunch.
How many reminders do you need to get up?
A bunch.
Okay. So, Outlawed number 1. Okay, so let's start with this one thing. This was a well-written story. Don't get me wrong. I actually really enjoyed it.
It's Al Ewing.
It's Al Ewing. I think it's his wife.
Or is it his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the Ewings.
So, very good story. Don't get me wrong. I just don't care about the characters that much. I know it sounds bad. There's nothing wrong with any of them. There's good characters, but
It is actually a lot of the teenage heroes testifying in front of Congress.
Yeah.
Trying
about
to,
an incident.
Yeah, and this is a flashback of the incident, and during the whole thing, Nova finally screams out, if Miss Marvel was here, this wouldn't be going this way. And you find out that the reason Miss Marvel isn't there is that she was hurt in the incident and has managed to maintain her secret identity.
Right.
And you see her parents standing over her as she managed to save this other person, but they destroyed a high school.
But what's interesting about this is if you are a Champions fan, especially the kids, you're going to love this book.
Yeah.
It wasn't my thing, but that's okay.
Well, and I guess Outlawed, the main series isn't going to be a thing. It's going to be carried. Maybe I'm wrong about that,
It's
but
going to carry through.
But it's like now we're going to go to
Empire.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Outlawed will be I think 5 or 6 part series by itself.
But it's like Champions is where most of it's going to run, and.
Yeah, and then Empire starts soon.
Yeah. I read Spider-Woman.
What'd you think?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Again, I bought it for this beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover. I have lots of J. Scott Campbell art on my wall. I'm a huge fan of Spider-Woman's look because, guys, sorry, she's hot.
Yeah, good. It's Jessica Drew too.
Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
So, Jessica Drew's had a baby, and it's kind of a cool look into superheroing. And I will say this: she was more true to
Who's the
this.
father? Do you remember who the
I
father
have
was?
no idea.
Do you remember the father was? Thor or something?
I think that Jessica Jones and Jessica Drew having the name Jessica and both of them having a little kid, all that stuff is kind of just a bad idea. And so anyway, Jessica Drew is basically having to cover the cost of her apartment, the cost of diapers, the cost of babysitters.
Yeah.
And so she has hired herself out in costume, but not her main costume, to some rich folks to do a bodyguarding duty. And the whole thing is her trying to save this kid, and she keeps losing her temper for no apparent reason.
Interesting.
Very interesting read. I'm absolutely going to pick up issue 2 if it happens to have a J. Scott Campbell cover. All right, but I really enjoyed it, and I need a Spider book. I don't like the Nick Spencer run anymore. I read the first 30 issues, and I got to a place where I said I can't, and I miss having the Spider-Verse in my life, and having Spider-Woman has been really fun.
Do you have to have Donny Cates take over Spider-Man? Or Justin Giampoli? I'm okay with that.
Stop it. Star Wars.
So, of course, he can't find his lightsaber. Because it's in this detritus, it's in all this junk, right? He's looking at the Ugnaughts, it's like, it's this long, tube, and they're like, I don't know. So, of course, Leia has gotten herself trapped in carbonite. All the people in this facility are looking to Lando to get out. He's like, oh, crap. So, what does Luke do? As they're trying to rescue Leia, he figures out that all he has to do is turn a couple buttons and he can turn off the carbonite. Well, he turns off all the carbonite. They have 30 or 40.
And then he force pulls the blasters, who they've just said they're set to kill, not stun, out of the stormtroopers' hands, lands them in all of the people who have just been unfrozen's hands.
It kills all the stormtroopers. He is using the Force like there's no tomorrow. It's like you can feel, but you can't feel the anger in him though. You feel it very much, and you know that you have to calm down somehow. Well, he splits the party, just like you're not supposed to do. You split the party. He took off in his X-wing, which we always wondered how he got his X-wing back. Remember?
So, guys, this was my point about the Star Wars series. We're only 4 issues in now. They may be getting a little hard to come by, but I don't care if you're a comic book fan or if you're a Star Wars fan. You should be reading this run. I've traditionally not read Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
This fills in the blanks between Empire and Jedi.
Yep.
The gap between Star Wars and Empire, to me, wasn't as big a gap as the gap between Empire and Jedi.
Right, we don't know.
And this is canon. This is official Disney.
There's never been a true explanation as to why he goes as the Dark Cloak. Who
he will build his lightsaber.
Yeah.
He will end up in dark clothing. We've already got a preview of someone talking to him who's going to do some training.
Yeah, this is a new Jedi.
I'm betting we see a Mara Jade in here. I'm just saying.
Oh man, can you imagine Mara Jade? That'd be fantastic. But she's long gone. Okay, X-Force number 9.
Hyper time is real. Everything is canon.
So X-Force number 9. So what's more fun than sitting around drinking? Oh wait, challenging yourself to see who can pop their claws and actually kill themselves. So he and Dakin, he and his son.
With Gabby spinning the bottle between them.
So I do love the fact that you've got him and Dakin there finally kind of making up, kind of over alcohol.
I mean, Wolverine killed Dakin.
Yeah.
After Dakin tried to kill Wolverine by drowning him.
Multiple
It was pretty
times.
dark. You drowned your own son.
Yeah. So it's a pretty great book. I'm really happy. You do find out that Domino, brand new Domino, Resurrection Protocol.
So her and Colossus died, stopping the Domino clones.
Right, exactly.
And after they've resurrected, she knows those things happened to her.
She knows the memories of it.
But she's not scarred by it anymore. Took away the trauma.
So it took away the trauma, and of course, the immediate question is, Sage is like, why would you do that? Didn't that kind of take away? And Wolverine's like, aren't you going to use that to
be angry?
And she's like, chink! Nope.
Yep.
I'm still angry. Like, okay, fine, you get it.
Which is why we have a fully restored, beautiful Domino on the cover.
Yeah. So great series.
I'm a big fan of Domino, so I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, they go to Brazil to find out what's going on because essentially the whole country's gone dark. They go to find out what's going on, and essentially it's this techno-organic.
No, it's plants. It's not techno.
Well, I thought they had the techno part with the plants, though.
It's a little bit like Krakoa, but it's more like the Floronic Man.
Okay, good point. Yeah. So, good story.
Out of control growth. All right, man. Book of the week.
Yeah, you put me in a corner there.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I'm gonna go Star Wars number 4.
Okay, I figured you would. I'm going with Batman 91.
Okay, cool. Okay,
So.
hang on. Let me write that down.
Which is funny because if you look at our top 4, I picked my number 1. You picked your number 1.
Yeah. Legitimately, that's what I picked because it's freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
So hopefully this helps you guys a little bit when you're doing your comic book polls. We know.
And hopefully if you're in isolation and you've got nothing better to do, you're taking time to check us out on YouTube, you're taking time to listen to the podcast. We try to
be honest about things without being really negative.
Yeah.
If something really is not good, like Outlawed, it's just not my thing. It's there's nothing wrong with it. It's good writing. It's
one
good
of us
story.
will keep reading it. I'll keep reading it. No,
Okay.
that look, man. You look like.
You look like he's
No,
still
I'm not
going
going
to
to
cut
read
back.
cheapy. Yes, I know. I got to help get mine bigger.
Yeah, but man,
You make me feel insecure.
Secret Empire's coming, man. No, just Empire.
Secret Crisis.
No. Empire's coming next week.
Yeah. Secret Crisis.
Secret Crisis. Hashtag Secret Crisis. Hashtag Scott Snyder. Hashtag Donny Cates. Hashtag Wally West.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening. We really appreciate you. Remember, hashtag Isn't Monday.
Isn't Monday yet?
Is anybody actually doing that? Have we gotten any trend on
I
Isn't
don't know
Monday
yet.
yet?
I don't know yet. Gotta look. Probably not.
I'm doubting it.
I trended
I have
it.
your price gun.
I had trended it. It was trending for me. I'm trendy.
I'm
I
not
don't know, I
trendy,
can't
and
say
I'm
that.
happy
I
with
can't say
that.
that out loud.